Hi, I'm going to talk about how I think of numbers. I don't know if anybody else does this, but I give numbers personalities. There's another thing that people do that I kind of do too. It's when you give like numbers or letters colors. And I do that. I totally do that. Not with like every number, but like for instance, like 5 is a red number, 8 is a yellow number, 7 is a green number. Um, some of the numbers have colors. Some could be like two different colors, like 6. I don't really have a specific color for 6. Maybe blue or something, I would say, but he doesn't have to be blue. Notice I call 6 a he because I think 6 is a he. So I'm just going to tell y'all all of my numbers and what their personalities are because they all have a little story. And I don't know if I must have like made this up when I was little, but I thought it was totally normal to give numbers personalities. I mean, you grow up, you have to do math, and you have all these numbers all the time. You might as well have fun with them, right? And like have little stories to go with them all. So I guess that's what I must have done. I don't really know who else does, but this is what I do. So I'm going to go through the numbers. I'm going to tell you about them. So 0. Let's start with 0. I don't think about 0 that much because, he's 0. He's kind of a loner. He's a boy. I don't think 0 would be a girl. 0 is a boy. And, he's kind of boring, but, he's all right. He might be a kind of good looking, but he doesn't hang out that much. He just kind of goes and does his own thing. So that's 0. 1 is a baby, and he's about, 1 year old because, he's the number 1. So I think he's like a cute little baby. And 3 is a toddler, and like 1 and 3 are brothers. And I know what you're thinking. You're going to think that I'm going to say 2 is a 2-year-old. No, I'm not going to say that because 2 is a grandma. And she takes care of 1 and 3. So that's what 2 is. And I don't really know why I made 2 a grandma, but I've always thought of 2 as a grandma. And then 4, he's like, he's not like really little anymore. He's kind of like, maybe he's a little bit bigger, like he's a teenager or something. And so is 5. And I kind of think of 4 and 5 is like a brother and sister. Like 5 is kind of like, she's kind of like the girl next door, and I guess because of her shape, like she's one of those curvy kind of girls. Like she's cute, she's adorable, she's young, and she's 5, and I think of her as red, and I think of her as kind of like a strawberry, and I don't know why I think of her as like a strawberry, but I do. So 4 and 5, they're brother and sister. They get along pretty well. And then 6 is like, he's like a kind of a short, pudgy man with a mustache. And, 5, she's a little young for him. She's like the girl next door type. What he really likes is he likes 7. And 7, she is like a supermodel. She's like a beautiful supermodel. But, come on, 6. You're not going to get 7. 7 is never going to go out with you because she's totally into 8. And 8 is like, he's like really awesome. Like, he's cool. He's a football player type, 7 likes 8. 7 is not going to hang out with, like, she might be friends with 6, but, she's only got eyes for 8. And 8 knows it. 8 knows that he's like the shit. 8's like the coolest one. And 9, he's sort of like a metrosexual type, He's like this guy that's like, he's into style and stuff. Like he's always wearing the latest designer clothes and stuff. He's 9. And then 10 is like, he's sort of a jock type too, but he doesn't really have, he doesn't have a girlfriend or anything. He just hangs out with 9, like 9 and 10, like they're just a couple of dudes. Like, 10's not metro or anything, but they get along even though they have like totally different styles. So yeah, those are the numbers. And then, once it goes up to like 11, 12, 13, I think of those more as like just bigger versions of the littler numbers. So yeah, they don't really have like that much personality. But yeah, I thought, yeah, I don't know. Does anybody else do that? Does anybody else have like personalities for numbers? I kind of have it like a little bit for letters, but not as much. Like A is always a boy. K is always a girl. Z, she's kind of like, I think she's more of like an old lady type because she kind of looks like a 2, and I think of 2 as an old lady. So when I think of the letter Z, I think maybe she might be an old lady, but you know, the numbers are a little bit more androgynous. Like, I mean, the letters are more androgynous to me, and the numbers are like, I don't know, they have more personality, they're more distinct. And that was probably because I didn't like math or something, so I was like letting my imagination run wild when I was like in first grade or something. So yeah, that's what I do. That's my numbers. So I hope you liked it. And I hope that now, if you haven't given your numbers personalities, you'll start thinking of them as people, because numbers are people too. They deserve like their own stories, and they deserve to be known. So yeah. Okay. Goodbye.